don't listen to white music. I don't eat white food. I don't live around white people. I don't wear white clothing. I'm not going to worship a white God. It would just make sense. Instead, I don't listen to white music. I don't eat white food, but I do love a white God and believe the only God could only be white, and he loves me and Jesus, and let's start singing. And all that comes from Martin Luther King. And his evil is profound, and the damage is profound in black culture. You wouldn't be Christian without him. And that's why they made him a god in Washington, D.C. That's why you got off today and the whole city had to shut down and the country had to shut down because he taught you to not do what the East Indians do, not do what the Chinese do. Even I see in women's rights. Right now you're living during the time of the women's rights movement, where women are complaining constantly that they should receive more money, they should get more pay, they should get more rights. And do women believe that they're equal with men? Have you ever met a woman? Do women believe that they're equal with men? What do women believe and say on TV? Not only can a woman do a job as good as a man, a woman can do a job better than a man. We need a woman president because a woman could be a president better than a man. They say that all the time. Women would just handle that better than men. Man, you see, they so stupid and all they do is chase after tail and fumble. But a woman, she would really know how to handle that. That's coming out the walls, brother. That's on the radio, on TV. That's in your house. You're too silly and full of games to handle something. But a woman, she could do it better than you can do it. That women's rights is not black people's rights, is not the civil rights movement. They handle things the way we should be handling. They're not trying to be equal with men. They teach women and little girls to be better than men. They teach them that they're better than men. But black civil rights is, please let me sit on your toilet. Please just raise me up so I can sit next to you. Now tell me another race that does that. The women's rights movement doesn't do it, and no other nation that fought for rights and civil rights in America does that. No, there will be no complaining because there is not an East Indian Oscar winner. You won't even care. You probably, before I said this, never even realized that there wasn't a Chinese Oscar nominee. There's Chinese people in movies, you know. They're taking roles. They're in movies. They've been in movies forever. Has there ever been a Chinese mayor? There might have been one Chinese mayor in the whole damn history of America. And I ain't sure about that. You got to research that. Has there been any East Indian? There's been like 2 or 3 East Indian governors and mayors. In the history of America, is there a complaint? Are they marching? They don't give a damn about being mayors, about joining with America. They care about owning every business they can quietly. In black society, we want to be billionaires. You understand? That's why that lottery is so popular amongst black people, because even the lottery fits right into the paradigm of Martin Luther King. Black people will strive to be rich, to be billionaires, to be the singular person that everyone looks to. While the Chinese, all of them have good jobs to support their family. Just all of them. Nobody's rich. Nobody's a billionaire. Nobody has a sneaker commercial. Nobody's sitting next to Drake at the concert. But all of them can feed their children, put their kids through college, and raise up their family. Absolutely quiet. Why? Because that's how they were taught civil rights. They were taught to come to America and support your own people until we gobble up enough to not need the people who let us come to their country. That's what every other race does. But us, we forget about taking care of each other, having land and property, so we won't need someone outside of our race, but everybody's going to be a billionaire. Everybody's going to, everybody's about to hit the number and become the next Martin Luther King. Everybody's about to be a superstar. Everybody. I don't know anybody black in the ghetto that doesn't believe that they are an inch away from being famous at every minute of the day. If you're in the black community, it's like the ghetto is just full of about to be superstars. Everybody. This guy, he forget about the rap deal. You take away rap, everybody in the ghetto thinks they are a YouTube clip away from being Jay-Z. This one, he gonna design jeans. He can design jeans and spray paint sneakers, and those spray painted sneakers are going to make him a billionaire. This woman, she gonna do it with, hair stuff or something about hair or God knows what. All of them think they're going to hit the lotto at every minute of the day. And none of them decide to put in the slow, dirty work to make a nation survive. To put in the work that is not, they won't make a statue of you based on this work. But you will have a nation, man. You'll have a nation. And those East Indians, they got a nation here in America with no East Indian presidents, no East Indian congressmen and senators. They might have 2 governors in the whole goddamn country. Maybe a mayor mixed in with that, but they have a community that takes care of each other, and that's because there is no East Indian Martin Luther King. There is no Chinese Martin Luther King. There is no African Martin Luther King. And who else did it? The Italians did it too. You know the Italians, brother, during the time of the 20s and 30s, they were not considered white. Go do your research. They were not black, but they were not white. They were kind of gypsy-ish or something that was not an actual white man. But the Italians, brother, they went in and just dug in and stuck to each other and built each other up and built up their neighborhoods and businesses and a ton of crime, and nobody gave a damn because they were with each other. They didn't try to go be this and be that. They focused on one another, which is what every race does, except for ours. Why? Because of Martin Luther King. Because every black person has this hero that now we all emulate for the rest of our lives. So now we love Jay-Z. Why? Because Jay-Z is rap's what? Jay-Z is hip-hop's what? Stay on topic. Martin Luther King. That's Jay-Z. Oprah is Martin Luther King. Barack Obama is Martin Luther King. He's a god, and now to have success, you have to pattern yourself like him and have his kind of success. What's his kind of success? Singular to one man. That's Martin Luther King's success. A success that only applies to one person. Will Smith, Martin Luther King. Everybody, the success in the black community is to pattern your success after the success of Martin Luther King. Success in the black community is not owning all the Dunkin' Donuts. That's not black success. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody cares about, should we own all the 7-Elevens? Well, there's no award show for that. Who the hell would want to do it? There ain't no red carpet for 7-Eleven owning. So nobody wants to do that. But everybody wants to be that one singular person that everyone can look up to on Black History Month. And that's why we are such failures at civil rights and such failures at community building. And when you brothers in the UPK, what you are commissioned to do is to build a society so that black people can finally look up and see it done right. So one day they look up and they go, I thought that we all just had to be billionaires and get rich quick and be superstars. Meanwhile, these brothers went and found communities all over the country and built them up from 2 brothers to 4, from 1 sister to 5, and grew and grew and grew and grew in businesses and vans and vehicles and land and farms. And none of them is the superstar. All of them just getting there and do their goddamn job, brother. Oh my God. You could show black people how it's actually done. How you actually build a community. Everyone understands that. How'd you get your hand up?
No, I remember we used to come from camp in Times Square. We went out there to New York. We always came to Jersey to drop off Captain Zaryat. And we always rode to what we call Bollywood. They had like a 3 or 4 block stretch that was full of these restaurants, their stores, their businesses. And whenever we went through on a Saturday night, it was always crowded. But them up there shopping, buying things, eating their own restaurants, always crowded. I said, God damn, this is what we do.
Listen, every other race did it. Forget about the so-called Jewish man. He don't even look at you if you're not Jewish. He don't even help you, give you any help. That's why you must get a Jewish lawyer. Because if you go into a courtroom with a lawyer who's not Jewish, then the judge looks at your lawyer and says, I'm not helping him. You understand? I'm not letting him win a case. Why? Because if he wins a case, that just took money from someone in my race. Like, you need a Jewish lawyer, so the judge will look favorably upon your lawyer and want to help him because he goes to his synagogue and they speak the same language. That lawyer you have better know that judge. They better be at the same bat mitzvahs, or else the judge is not going to want your lawyer to win. He's going to want him to fail because that lawyer is not his brother. You understand? Every other race has learned this. We haven't. Why? By accident? Hell no. There is a systematic plot to turn us away from building our own nation and to turn us to idol worship. To turn us to looking to one person and just looking at him and going, hell, I'm in the ghetto, but he in Hollywood. I'm starving to death, but Oprah is rich. Black people celebrate Oprah as if she's feeding them. Michael Jordan, what do you love about Michael Jordan so guy? Like, you would think you get a penny of those sneakers. You would think the way black people, and listen, I've heard them talk about it, and it's in a sense of so much pride, like they're rich. You get my point? Like, when they talk about Oprah and who else? Michael Jordan, give me someone else. The black people talk about it as if they get a cut.
LeBron James,
It's hot, any black athlete. You would think that you are getting a percentage of that man's money. The way you can see the glimmer in their eye, like so-and-so bought, like Puff Diddy bought another record company. Like, they got such pride about it, like they won something. Go ahead.
Now that Cam Newton, Carolina Panthers.
I mean, my God, it's like you don't have to ever be anything but poor and suffering, because you can just look to this idol and put all of your hope and success. The fact that he succeeded is like you succeeded. It's as close as you want to get to success, is to idolize someone. All I'm trying to do today is show you where it comes from. It comes from Martin Luther King. It comes from him coming up in a pivotal time in the 60s where black people were trying to come alive. That's when the truth came out. The truth came out during that same time when Martin Luther King got killed and Malcolm X was being killed, and black people were trying to wake up. And then all of their attention just got diverted to black girls and white girls. Before you know it, they couldn't see anything else but loving him. And then black success became finding the new Martin Luther King. Barack Obama got into office. Even that stupid picture of him. Well, remember that picture with hope written down here? That picture with he looking up, looking just like Martin Luther King, like, I'm just looking to God for, because I'm so heroic. And they put hope down at the damn bottom. And you're not saying this to yourself, but when you look at him with that hope written under him, your emotions are going to Martin Luther King.
That's right.
You're feeling like he's the next Martin Luther King. Hope. Oh man, hope. And no one says it. It's like subliminal advertising. No one is saying it, but they are trying to say, this is the new Martin.
I remember around the time when Barack Obama got elected, I think he was sworn in around the time of MLK birthday. They had the Hope picture and the picture of Martin Luther King next to it, and it was like Dream Realized. Something like
I remember that.
Crazy.
Yes, they did. Dream Realized. Go ahead.
didn't the truth come out? Wasn't blacks better off with Marcus Garvey?
Blacks were better off in slavery than what we are now. Blacks were better off being sold on the goddamn auction block than what the hell we are now. And go through the numbers, and I'll go over them with you one day. And you think that we were killing each other like that back then? Huh? You think we were murdering each other like that? No. Black people are always better when there is a more defined separation between us and the white man. And when that separation is defined, we're better off. What did Harriet Tubman say? What's my favorite Harriet Tubman quote? Go ahead, God.
She said, I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves.
Harriet Tubman, her problem was black people back then didn't know they were slaves while they were being sold on auction blocks. They still didn't know they were slaves. So don't tell me that if I went back in time, we couldn't be in a better shape than we are now. They thought they were in good shape. She tried to get them to leave. They like, hell no, I ain't leaving. You a slave, I'm trying to free you. I ain't no slave, bitch, get out of here. I ain't going with you. They were saying that to Harriet Tubman. Black people, the closer we get to white people, the more we think we can be white, that we can be accepted by them, the worse off we are, man. That's a fact. You can look up the numbers. I've done it too many times. I've looked at the murder rate during the time of lynching. The time of lynching, how many people were killed? 3,000 people. How many people got killed last year? You think about it, brother. You think about it. You look back like, oh, the lynching time, that was a horrible time. That was 3,500 people. What is that in Chicago? 1 year in Chicago, if I'm not lowballing it? The time of lynching, that included the entire country. 3,500 people got lynched. Now, if you do 3,000 people, your crime will have went down. You'll be re-electing the mayor because only 3,000 people got killed. Marcus Garvey was not a man of God. You understand that, don't you? He was not a man of God. He was not in the truth. And that's why he fell the way he fell. Because he didn't realize that he had to fix himself, including fixing black people. You understand that? But black people were always better off if there's a more defined separation between us and white people, all right? Read the Martin Luther King scripture again, please.
From 25, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 25. I have heard what the prophet said.
Any questions off the topic? Hang on to it. Go, brother.
I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed.
That's UPK 101. UPK 101. Ariel 101. Yeshaya Kazak 101. Lahab 101. Mashah 101. Keep going.
How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
That's what Martin Luther King wanted to be a God, and he achieved it. His desire was not for justice for black people. His desire was to be a God. He was vain and arrogant and subverted a movement that was started by the push cart workers in Chicago who started that entire civil rights movement when they were refusing to take such little pay to be, the baggage claim people on the trains. And they were tired of how they were being treated by the person who owned their contract. I forget his name. Was it Porter? It might have been Porter. You can go look it up. And they were protesting him. Martin Luther King's people found out about it and subverted and took over the whole movement. And they took over that situation with Rosa Parks. That was a whole nother sister named Clarice or something. Look her up. It was some dark-skinned sister on the bus. They came and told her to get up and she refused. And she was too tired. They took her to jail and arrested her. She went down to the NAACP office, told them what happened. She was mad as hell about it. When they heard the story, they said, this is perfect. This is perfect for us to use this story to bring attention to how we're being treated. There's only one problem. You are too dark-skinned. And they sent Rosa Parks, who was a secretary who worked with Martin Luther King, who was in the same fraternity as Martin Luther King's wife, they sent her down to get on the bus and to refuse so they could use her story. You know you got Google, right? You can just look this up. Hurry up.
Claudette Colvin.
Claudette Colvin. Some little dark-skinned girl, but they knew that she would not move white people to compassion because she was too light-skinned. I mean, she was too dark-skinned. So they went and sent Rosa Parks on the bus and had her do it because they believed white people would more feel compassion on her. Now, that's the truth. Everyone understands? You got Google now. We had to go learn this in the goddamn library when I was a young officer and be taught it in classes and carry books around, big heavy bags. You can just go Google it. That is the truth of the whole Rosa Parks story that you can go find out. Martin Luther King was just a liar who ginned up a movement to make him a god, to get popularity, and it worked. And by the way, I don't have to tell you anymore that he was famous for loving white prostitutes and having sex with white whores. He was a sexual deviant. And J. Edgar Hoover caught him and audio taped him and was going to turn those tapes over to the people, to the media. And that's why he said, I might not make it there with you, but I've seen the mountaintop, because he was going to resign because he didn't want those tapes to come out. J. Edgar Hoover sent him a letter and a copy of the tape saying, if you do not resign, I am going to release these tapes. Why? Because Martin Luther King was also a member of the National Communist Party. You can go find the pictures and the paperwork now, seeing him go to the communist meetings. J. Edgar Hoover believed that he was in league with the Russians because he was a member of the Communist Party. So J. Edgar Hoover did not want him leading a movement amongst black people because he believed that he would turn black people into communists, which would make black people allies with the Russians. Is everybody with me? I know it's complicated. If you don't understand, tell me. So J. Edgar Hoover wanted him to resign. J. Edgar Hoover sent him a letter and a copy of the tape of Martin Luther King having sex with 2 white girls. Yikes. He was insatiable of it. 2 of them, brother. 2 white girls, please. 2 white girls. He's in the Watergate Hotel. Watergate Hotel with 2 white girls. What was he saying on the tape, Mahayaman?
He said, I'm effing you for God.
That's what he
ain't no
said.
nigga tonight.
He on the tape. Now you can go listen to these tapes now, you know. He said, I'm effing you for God. I ain't no nigga tonight. I'm effing you for God. I ain't no nigga tonight. Having sex with 2 white girls. Who sent those white girls to his room? Take a guess. Yeah, because he knew how lustful the bastard was. He sent 2 white girls to his room. No, he cannot turn them down. He had sex with them like a wild orgy circus. He taped the whole thing and sent him a letter saying, you better resign by this date. So he went to his next meeting and said, I might not make it there with you. Not because he foresaw his death, you dummy. He didn't foresee his death. He was going to quit because he didn't want the tapes to be released of him putting hell on 2 white girls in the hotel. Then what happened before he could resign? Who knows? Push it forward, brother, please. Who knows what happened?
He was killed, bro.
By who?
By a white man.
By who?
The CIA.
By who? Oz? By the Most High. That's who killed Martin Luther King. Precept.
Deuteronomy 13:1.
Excellent. Give him a hand. Let's read it. Let me tell you, brother, people get killed all the time, man. All my cousins did, friends I grew up with. There was somebody else that pulled the trigger, that's true. But as I look back at their lives, I know who authored their destruction. I know that my cousins were murderers and drug dealers. And I know that though a man pulled the trigger, I know their death was sanctioned by the Lord. who is the author of life and death. Everybody understands that. Christians want you to be afraid of what happens when you die. If you had any sense, you'd worship a God to make sure that you don't die, right? That makes more sense to me at least, right? Because you could obey God and live forever. That's what you could do. That's in the Bible. Or you could worship yourself and your own lust, and then he will have you killed. He's doing it every day, is he not? He's killing people every day. That's his judgment. And Martin Luther King fell under his judgment, like every other sinner. You think Martin Luther King is the first lustful whore addict that dies? They dying all the time. You never had a friend get set up and get shot by some whore? It's almost a common daily occurrence. I had a grandfather got killed, had whores in his house, he died. The whores set him up and killed him. Killed him. The detective came over to the house. He tried to tell us the story like he had some friends that came by and hey, you remember, you know what I'm talking about, Tower?
Stabbed.
Yeah, they stabbed him up. You go ahead.
Everybody was telling me all this.
They kept this from Tower War. He was young, they let him know. Well, Grandpa got stabbed up by whores. In the house. In the house. He let the whores in the house having sex with him. They opened the door and let some other cat in to rob him and killed him. Now, who killed him? The Lord. You understand? It ain't special. It's happening all the time in the hood. And it happened to Martin Luther King. Read.
Deuteronomy 13, verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams.
Or what?
Dreamer of dreams.
Or a what?
Dreamer of dreams.
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams. Oh, I had a dream. Black girls and white girls that hold hands. Singing that old Negro spiritual. Even that is a damn insult. Why would white people sing our Negro spiritual? That speech is a damn insult. We're in slavery, in bondage, which is why we are singing a Negro spiritual. We're singing to ease ourselves from the pain. It's the blues. You understand? We're singing about, every black song is about dying. Because black people, their life was so horrible that they would sing about dying all the time. Because death was the only release that they could hope for. So they would sing about just, oh, I'm going up to join you. I'm coming up, Lord. One day when I go home, one day when I die. They're singing about death like it's a wonderful thing because they want to die. Now, why would a white person sing that old Negro spiritual? Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Why would I join hands with a white person? Why is she singing that? I know why I'm singing it. I know I can't wait till I'm free. I get that. I get why my people would sing about freedom and pray day and night about freedom. Now, one question, this white person I'm holding hands with, why are they singing it with me? What's the reason for that? Martin Luther King was disgusting. He was a vile bastard. And he's the same as every vile bastard you love today. You love Oprah for what God knows what reason. You love Oprah just for being rich, I guess. Just for the sake of her having that much money. And you shame yourself with that goddamn lottery too. Right. You embarrassed yourself with that damn lottery. You run around in the stores, like a nut for some damn piece of paper. I tell Maria, if you want to buy a lottery ticket, give me $20. And I throw it out the goddamn window. That's your lottery ticket. Celebrate that. Just hand me $20 and I'll rip it up and throw it out the window. What is the difference? Danielle.
They said around when the Powerball was at like 1.5 million, a sister thought she won it. But the numbers was mixed up. So she quit her job and everything. And then found out that she had it wrong and had to go back and plead for her job back.
That's embarrassing.
That's right.
And meanwhile, once again, the white man knows how poor we are, knows how we're suffering. And he gives us The path to being free is always some get rich quick, be famous, be the next Jay-Z and Beyonce nonsense. As opposed to getting the 7-Elevens, getting the Dunkin' Donuts, doing what the Chinese people do in your neighborhood who own all the businesses and who none of them have a song on the radio. None of them are celebrated. None of them get an award. None of them walk a red carpet, but they own everything that you need to survive. All we want is another Martin Luther King, and we're looking for one all the time. That's all we want. We want an idol, and we seek to be an idol, and then when we see a man has achieved being an idol, we worship him. Knowing that all of us are sitting home thinking that we one step from being famous, one step from being glorified. Where are we at? Deuteronomy 13:1. Go ahead.
And giveth thee a sign or a wonder.
Read it from the top.
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder.
And does what?
Giveth thee a sign or a wonder.
Does what?
A sign or a wonder.
What's the sign or a wonder that Martin Luther King gave us? He was a dreamer of dreams. You know that. What's the sign or a wonder that he gave us?
The march, all the people.
The march. That, which is why they show it every year. They show that view of all those people. Somebody give me the prophets of Baal and Elijah when they had that battle when the Lord burnt up the sacrifice.
Oh,
Martin Luther King was able to achieve the March on Washington. And then subsequently to that, the civil rights legislation. It was a miracle to black people. Black people, it was an absolute miracle. Do you know, they show you those people in that march, right? Do you know that so many of them walked from Alabama? They walked. I mean, it was a pilgrimage, brother. Go ahead.
Oh, shit, so I had a clip. I got to find this shit again. So he said he come up for a check.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, Haas. Can someone look up the name of that march, please? Someone look it up. Let me tell you something else that they'll never tell you in the Christian church. Everyone sees that march. Everyone sees those people and they go, Martin Luther King is amazing. He's a man of God. All of those people came to hear his beautiful speech. That is not why they were there. Those black people did not walk from Alabama to hear his stupid hope and dream nonsense. They were there for another reason. Just give me the name of the march. Google the march. See what the march is about. See me one more time, Danielle. Officer Soccer War.
It was titled The March for Jobs and Freedom.
Say that one more time.
The March for Jobs and Freedom.
Yeah, you got it. Say that one more time.
The March for Jobs and Freedom.
Black people marched to Washington for jobs. You understand? They went to black people who couldn't find a job, who were suffering because they had no employment. And they told them, if you march on Washington, the white man is going to give you employment. I'll explain a little bit. This is going to be kind of technical. Stay with me. Back during that time, right, in the South, black people were sharecroppers. Who knows what that is? Your grandparents more than likely were sharecroppers, meaning you work a field for whatever crop it is, tobacco, corn, cotton, whatever, right? Peanuts. And you get a portion of that crop. A portion of that crop is yours, meaning when it goes to market, 3% of it comes back to you. 1%, half of 1% comes back to you. Everyone understands. But you have to turn over the whole crop. And a portion of that is your money when that crop gets sold at market. Everyone understands, right? You know about it, brother, right? So now, that was the main way that black people were surviving. They were sharecroppers. They came out of slavery from working the fields in slavery, and after slavery, they were able to own a piece of the profits. So all the black people who used to be farmers, working agriculture in the agricultural field, now became sharecroppers. Then during the time of the 50s, or it could have been 30s or 50 years, you heard of Soccer War? Oh, fuck. What you got in? That's it. March on Watch Jesus Christ. March on Washington for jobs and for freedom. Then during the time of the 50s, the government began to subsidize farming. What do I mean by subsidize? They began to pay farmers to grow certain things and to not grow certain things. It was subsidized farming, which is happening to this day. Those farmers that would get the subsidies were always the white farmers because they had the biggest, nicest farms. So they would subsidize these white farmers. So now, let's say in America, they don't want you to grow any more peanuts. They're saying there's too many peanuts, stop growing peanuts. So this black farmer who's growing peanuts, he can't sell any more of his peanuts. But the white farmer is getting paid to grow something else because he has a big, nice farm. The black farmer, he can't sell his peanuts anymore because there's someone right next door down the road who's getting paid from the government. His money is guaranteed whether he grows them or not. He's getting paid in some cases to not grow them. So then when they both go to market, he can't compete. And because of that, the black farmers begin to all fail. They begin to all drop and fail. So Martin Luther King would go into the churches and say, I'm going to march to Washington to say you should give some of those government subsidies to black farmers. You can go look it up, brother. It's all over the place now. Go ahead.
Like, I know you're talking about, but my grandparents, they grew up on the plantation down in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So after the Calhoun plantation, after old man Calhoun died, he left it to my uncles, my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
So they got like 160 acres farm.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to subsidize, they grow soybeans right to the day to the government, for the government.
That's correct.
Right.
And go look up the amount of sharecroppers. Go look up how many sharecroppers there were in the 1800s. Look up how many there are now. You know what I mean? It's laughable. Everyone understands. So Martin Luther King went to the churches telling the sharecroppers who were failing, who were poor, who were being shut down, come march to Washington and I'll get you some of those subsidies. So because they're poor, they all marched. But before you know it, by the time they get there, the march becomes to be about, finish my answer. Now we years after the March on Washington. What was the March on Washington about? Somebody give me the right answer.
Money.
Yeah, that's what it was about? What money came from it?
Wait,
Somebody get some money?
I heard he was taking everybody's money.
What happened with the money?
He spent it.
Who spent it? How much money is that when you think of the March on Washington, do you think, boy, they made a lot of money that day? No. What was the March on Washington about? It's like a war.
Making Martin Luther King an idol.
It was about Martin Luther King.
Ah.
That's it. It was about making him an idol. That's all it became. It wasn't for jobs. It wasn't for none of the reason that they wore out their shoes walking from South Carolina to Washington, D.C. It just became a stage for this man to be glorified. When they walked there, hoping that they would save their farm. You understand? That was the point. The point was that my farm is dying. I can't sell my crops. I'm going to walk here so I can get the government to give me some subsidies so I could sell my crop. The whole thing became one giant summer fest for Martin Luther King. One giant, what's the concerts the kids like to go to? What's the names of them?
Summer Jam.
Summer Jam. One giant summer jam for Martin Luther King to stand up on and work his way to being made a god today in Washington, D.C. It was so sad for those poor, misled people. Now, someone look up the amount of sharecroppers, black farmers in the 1800s. Look up how many black farmers there are now. Go ahead and hand up. Okay.
I remember you had brought up before, I'm from DC too, and I never knew that some of the people, or majority of them had to stay, and they populated, most of the Southeast.
They call DC Chocolate City, right? DC is Chocolate City because all those people who walked to Washington had no way to get back. And so they stayed. and then DC became Chocolate City. That's where it comes from, because of course old Smarty Art Martin had no way for the people to get back. Soccer war.
And DC's famous for the term Bama. The term Bama came from a lot of them folks from down
From
south
Alabama.
staying in DC after the march.
And they use that word. They call people Bama in DC. So it takes you a while to catch on to it. It comes from everybody there is from Alabama because their grandmother walked from there because she had nothing in Alabama because the farm was dying. The farm was being closed, being taken. Then, of course, the white farm next door, what does he do because he's so rich and you so poor? He buys your farm. He takes your farm. You buy dirt cheap because how are you going to say no? You walk to D.C. hoping that someone can help you in Washington. Danielle.
And I was watching a couple of the clips earlier from Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
He always sounded like he was a pastor. When he was talking, always sounded like he was up there preaching. And the crowd, it just seemed like it was just one big church that he was having.
Martin Luther King was the chaser for the white Jesus.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, every politician after him, if you want black people to like you, you have to talk like you're a pastor. Al Sharpton is from Brooklyn. You understand that? He's from Brooklyn now. Have you heard him? My reverend and president and coveted He's from Brooklyn. But he knows you can't get black people to listen to you without sounding like a Southern preacher. Who else did it to the damn 8 years in the White House? Some black people, and we got some. He is from Hawaii. I gotta do this, and some. And something, who else did it? I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Whoever black people like, you must talk like a Southern preacher or else black people don't like you. Why? It's because of the Christianity. It's because we are sold to that white Jesus. And Martin Luther King started something that everybody after him kept up. After him, Al Sharpton had to sound like he was from the South because of Martin Luther King. Barack Obama and Bill Clinton had to sound like they were from the South because of Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King is the author of your troubles. He is the gateway drug to Christianity. He's the chaser to the stiff drink that you've drunk out of Christianity your entire life. You wouldn't even want to be Christian if not for Martin Luther King. Let me tell you let me give you what Martin Luther King left you. Who wants to hear a sad but funny statistic? Let me lay one on you real fast. You've heard about the black entrepreneur, right? All your life. You heard about black people. The minute you grow up, what do you want to be? I want to be an entrepreneur. That one word, black people love that word. I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I own my own business. Oh yeah, I'm gonna own. What you gonna do when you grow up, Rashid? I'm gonna own my own business. Let me give you the stats, Rashid. This one's funny. I hate to even say it. On this block alone, do you see how many businesses are right here? On one block, how many businesses do you think are on one block? 10? On this block, it's 10 businesses. 10 on this one block. Can you imagine how many businesses are in America? How many businesses are 3 blocks? Who can guess? 50? Am I low block? 50 in 3 blocks. Go into your neighborhood, there's a business every few feet. There's a business. Well, how many black-owned businesses are in America? 365,000 in the entire country. Hold on to your hat. And of that 365,000, 99% have less than 1 employee. That's from the Department of Interior. Do you understand what that means? It's sad and funny at the same time.
A lot.
I'll give it to you again. It is 365,000 black businesses in America. This quote I got 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks, I'm watching some Christian, Roland Martin, trying to cut the preachers who wouldn't saw Martin Luther King. And wouldn't saw Donald Trump. And he said, when you was with Trump, you should have told him about this stat from the Department of Interior. There are 300, out of every business in America, there are 365,000 black-owned businesses. And of that 365,000, 99% have less than one employee. I said, say what? I said, nah, that can't be true. I went and got on the computer, brother, it's true. Listen, less than one employee means that most of black businesses is just a nigga with a truck. That's it. It's some nigga with a truck. And that's 99% of that black business. Go ahead.
So like I said, oh, it only exists on paper. I got about 3 businesses.
There you go. You added to the 365. Meaning, it's only 365 to begin with, 1,000. 99% of them are the owner and no one else works for the business. That's the legacy of Martin Luther King. That's past the black and white video of him standing up there looking like, I know I'm gonna have to die for you. They make him a whole Jesus figure. You know, I knew I might not make it there with you. Like he just knew he was gonna die. Like, oh, he got shot because he was just so righteous. Oh, boy, that's so sweet. What did John Lennon get shot for? Because he was so righteous. What did my cousin get shot for last week? Was he righteous too? Black people get shot all the time. Here's the problem. Most of them are shot because they got it coming.
That's right.
They got it coming. They live in a lifestyle of death. And that's why they die. Martin Luther King died because he was living a lifestyle of death. And that's why he died. You don't believe me? Don't worry about it. Keep reading.
Verse 2, and that sign or that wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known.
So because that sign or that wonder happened, you believe him when he says what?
Let us go after other gods.
Excellent, good work. When he says, let us go after other gods, you saw Martin Luther King standing on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial with all those people. You said, man, we should listen to him when he tells us to go and serve America, go become Christian, go, show me that picture again. I'm on the screen. Go and join hand in hand with white people. He brought all those people to Washington, D.C. We should listen to him. Let's put his face on the wall next to the white Jesus and John Kennedy. Let's do it because he achieved what he wanted in that march. And so now let's do what he asked us to do. Let's join white America and become just as sinful as they are. Then later on, what did Martin Luther King say right before he died? Who knows? You can look this up too. Right before he died, he was talking to Harry Belafonte. And he said, I fear, Ariana, I fear that I have integrated black people into a burning house. I said to myself, it was a little late for that, Martin. God. He regretted doing it right before he died. He said, I fear that I have, you can look this up, Google this, of course. Look at this Google, I fear I have integrated black people into a burning house. That's what he said after he saw how black people followed him into integration. Every black person now was trying to unify with white society. But then Martin Luther King began to see how the FBI was and how J. Edgar Hoover was. And then he said, man, I fear that I have integrated black people into a burning house. And that's what he did. How beautiful would we be if we were separate from white society?
Right.
How wonderful would it be if we were separate? Like the Chinese are separate and the East Indians are separate. How wonderful would these people be if we were separate from white society? But instead, the Oscars are coming on, so just be mad because ain't no black people getting Oscars. You know, protest until, guess what? Next year, you'll get all the Oscars. Then we'll say free at last, you know, we won. Hallelujah, Jesus is here because we have Oscars. We got a black president and we got Oscars. Why don't you achieve something that is worthy your status in the earth? Why don't you achieve something magical, something wonderful? You could do that if you would let go of the influence of Martin Luther King. Keep reading, brother. So keep reading. So you get everybody understands where we at, right? Keep going.
Saying, let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Verse 3, thou shalt not hearken into the words of that prophet.
That's what you got to do. When you hear that prophet telling you who has done a miracle in your eyes, you think it's amazing. You see, black people love a crowd of people. Black people, the minute you see a crowd of people doing anything, you in your mind think it must be great. Especially silly black women. Not the black women like you sisters in the UPK. You sisters are not light women. You understand? The Bible says, do not give thyself over to a light woman. You sisters are what? What's the opposite of light?
Virtues.
The opposite of light. This is black talk. Heavy. You understand? You want a woman that is heavy. You know what I mean by that? Heavy in her mind. Well, a light woman, all she cares about is what is popular.
Right.
Where is the crowd at? The minute why do you think the white man shows you that door busting mess every Black Friday? Every Black Friday, they show on TV black people busting in the door of Kmart and Walmart, getting trampled and stepped on. This is what they know about you. You're saying to yourself, they must got some good savings down in there. That Walmart. They must have a good deal down in there. I better get in that door and bust that door open too. Look at that crowd busting in that door, stepping on everybody's face. It must mean the savings is that good in Walmart. Here your civil ass is next year, busting in the damn door. Hurry up. Everybody gets it? You saw Martin Luther King's crowd. Now you said, oh man, he must be a man of God. Look at all those people all behind him and in front of him on the steps. What he's saying must be what God says. We should all integrate. You were fooled and played by your own lust. You should have rejected him when you heard what he said. You understand? You should have said, whoa, Jordan, white people, hold up now. I know who has beat my back 400 years.
Right.
I know who has destroyed me, aborted my children, castrated me, beat my grandmother, burned the eyes out of my father for reading the Bible. Nah, I'm not doing that. When you heard him, you should have rejected it, but you didn't because he performed a miracle in your eyes. Keep going.
Or that dreamer of dreams.
Or that what?
Dreamer of dreams.
Or that what?
Dreamer of dreams.
Keep going.
For the Most High your power proveth you to know whether ye love the Most High your power with all your heart and with all your soul.
Who can break that down for me? Come on now. Come on, y'all. Just give me what that means and give it to me in Joshua where the Lord said, I leave the other nation around you that I might prove you. I leave the other nations around about you to prove you. You brothers, raise your hand if you have not graduated Hebrew Academy. Good work. Let me tell you, I've had so many counsels about Hebrew Academy since Jeremiah gave the order to get those medical forms. It is trying all of you. It always does. The minute someone begins to speak about Hebrew Academy, you are being tested. The minute you hear Hebrew Academy is coming, you're being tested. The minute that starts to happen, everything is a test. And the Lord is a father, and fathers love to test their kids.
That's right.
It's them. It's being a father. You want to see what the young man has. You understand? If you brothers that haven't raised sons, you might not understand what I mean yet. One day you'll get it. You want to see what he has in it. You want to see what he's made of. That's the Most High. You understand? Now break that verse down to me and make me understand it. Read it one more time.
Thou shalt not hearken into the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Most High your power proveth you, to know whether ye love the Most High your power with all your heart and with all your soul.
Aria.
Saying he really, the reason he brings that prophet to you to see whether or not you will follow him.
Give him a hand. This is what Martin Luther King could have been. Well, Salaki, this is what Martin Luther King is to us. He is this to us. Martin Luther King was just a test. That's all he was. The Lord let him go and get in that big crowd, speak in front of those people, and then the legislation got passed. What did the legislation say? Now, black people can sit on white toilets. Oh, Jesus. White, you telling me that I can now drink from a water fountain that the white people drink from? You thought it was a miracle that he achieved that. Why did that happen? Why was he able to bring that big crowd to the Washington Monument for the March on Washington? Why was he able to meet with Lyndon Johnson? Why was he able to meet with J.F. Kennedy? Why was he able to achieve such success? To prove you, to see whether you love the Lord with all thy heart and with all thy soul. That's why. Martin Luther King's movement was a test. It was a test. I just read it. I'll read it again. Read it from Dreamer of Dreams.
Or that dreamer of dreams.
Or that what?
Dreamer of dreams.
Or that dreamer of dream. Go ahead.
For the Most High your power proveth you, to know.
Come on.
Whether ye love the Most High your power with all your heart and with all your soul.
He wanted to see whether or not you love the Lord or not. So what did he do? He rose up some man, some dreamer of dreams to prove you, to see whether you love the Lord God or not. So this man is going to tell you just what you want to hear. He's going to be dressed just the way you like to see a man of God dressed. He's going to be famous. He's going to be about hope and change and love and peace, and all of your problems will go away to see what you have in you, to see what you're made of. It was a test, and Commander General Yahanna passed the test. Ariel passed the test. Lahab, Yaikwa, Yeshaya, Kazak, Mashael, those men who were around back then, they said, I ain't falling for this garbage, man. I'm not getting in the Rainbow Coalition. I'm not doing it. They passed the test that so many of us today have failed. It was a test. Give me the scripture in Joshua. Who has it? Joshua 1:6. The other nations to prove you. Come on, y'all. Get quick about finding these scriptures. It's in the book of Joshua, I believe the first chapter. Well, I have left the other nations round about you to prove you. Keep reading. Same brother. I got to move on to the next topic.
Thou shalt walk. This is verse 4. Ye shall walk after the Most High your power and fear him and keep his commandments.
And do what?
Keep his commandments.
Integrate.
Keep his commandments.
Follow Martin Luther King into a Rainbow Coalition.
Keep his commandments.
That's what the Most High wants out of you, man. And if you obey Martin Luther King, you will have to break the Lord's commandments. And in doing it, you're not going to get a job, dummy. You ain't going to hit the lotto. You ain't going to be famous and wonderful, and you and your wife just hold hands and dance at the, what's that old, the bald-headed cat with the teeth? Not Steve Harvey, but the other one. That has a radio show. Tom Joyner. You and your wife won't dance at the Tom Joyner concert on the boat, having a wonderful middle-class life, You are going to be in hell. Your wife is going to whore on you, and your son is going to be a sodomite. That's what is going to happen to you. Though you think, if I follow Martin Luther King's dream, I will get to touch his success. I'll get to touch Creflo Dollar's success. I will get to touch T.D. Jakes. What's the one with the purple? The purple one that loved the boys.
Eddie Long.
Eddie Long. I'll get to touch Eddie Long's success. That's not going to happen for you. Why? Because Eddie Long is a test. Creflo Dollar is a test. Martin Luther King is a test. And you failed. And here, you brothers have made it your way in the UPK, all over the world, you won. You passed the test. You didn't get suckered in. You sisters, and the sisters, it especially wants to sucker you in. Because even during the time of slavery, the white man would use our women to pacify us. Use women to nag you into obeying white people, which is what a woman can do. She can nag you so much to where you'll do just whatever she wants, regardless of whether it's right or wrong. And that's why men like Martin Luther King and T.D. Jakes and the purple faggot sodomite that wears that likes the boys, they love to seduce women, knowing that by getting you, they get everybody. By getting women, you get the man through nagging, and you get the children through obedience to the mother. And every woman in the UPK, you pass the test. Every brother, you pass the test of Martin Luther King. Who has it? The book of Joshua, someone called Kathumgabar.
I believe it's in the book of Judges.
I meant to say Judges. Salaki, it is Judges. Go ahead. You know where it is? Where is it at?
Judges 3:1.
Judges 3:1. Salaki. Someone pull that. Judges 3:1. This is the precept for the Lord judge it, the Lord proveth you with Martin Luther King, with that dreamer of dreams. Judges 3:1, quickly. Read.
Judges chapter 3, verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them.
So stop. So right now, this is when we went into our land after we dwelt in the wilderness, wandering for 40 years with Moses. Then finally, we went into our homeland of Israel. But the Lord left certain nations close to us. He didn't remove them. He left them right there. Read it one more time.
Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them.
The Lord left these nations around us, living close to us, to prove us, to try us, to test us. And brothers, you must be willing to be tested, man. Don't fight it. So many young men I've seen throughout the years, they resist the test. Don't resist it, man. Go through the crucible of it, brother. Go in the crucible. Go in the fire. Go in it. You see the fire there? Walk in it. Walk in it and see what you have. Prove your father's worth in you. Prove that your father has raised up a man that can endure. Walk through it. The world teaches you to go around it. Right. The minute you know something is difficult, you bowing out. You falling out. So, some brother left the truth the other day. I laughed so hard. Where was he at? I forget where he was. He transferred from someplace. And then he heard about the Hebrew Academy, right? And he was supposed to leave from the city he was in, which was Florida, and go to New York. And so as he was getting transferred, he said, oh yeah, man, I've been in the Marines 10 years. I'm ready to come up to New York, getting to work with the Lord. He kept talking about being in the Marines, right? The brother said, no problem. So finally it was camp day to report to camp. He sent the text that said, Salakia, I'm bowing out. He wrote bowing out on the text. The brother, of course, said shalom. Because so many men, the minute they know, well, it's on now, huh? This is it. You were in class, you were learning. Now it's time to get in the game. Here it is. And hold your point 1 second. So many of them, because of what? Because of Martin Luther King, you just bow out. It's too much vagina in you. Too much. And Martin Luther King, he fostered that vagina to grow in you. and grow until it sprouts all over your body. And now the minute that you get tested, you just want to fall on the dream. You can't handle the reality. Another brother left the truth. It was so funny. This one was in Florida too. Somebody better come up in Florida. Florida having problems, I said. He said, this brother, he got locked up a couple of times. We found out later, we check on him, call his woman. He's young in the truth at that time. He getting locked up. He learned, he stopped. He came up in the truth. So then finally, they didn't hear from the brother for about a month. So they call it and try to find out, wondering, of course, if he got locked up again, right? Finally, after a while, the brother, they kept trying to get in contact with the brother. The brother finally called. And this is Captain Tazariak. He said, I've been looking for you. I thought you got locked up. What's going on? He said, no, I'm straight. He said, I thought y'all would realize I fell off after I didn't check in. He said the term fall off. He said, I thought y'all would realize I fell off after I didn't call. He said, well, no, I didn't know you fell off. I thought you maybe got locked up again. Now that I know you fell off, shalom. So many brothers are, the minute it's on, the minute it's time, they fall. If you fall, you just failed your test. No problem, because there's always somebody right outside the door waiting to sit in your seat. Oh, them seats is not yours. This seat I'm in, it was great men sitting in these seats under General Yahanna. General Rawbon, Ricard Ward, who was it, Haas? General Rawbon, Ricard Ward, Aya Allah, I mean, great men. They fell. I said, no problem. I went in and just sat in their seat and got it on. All right. That's all. I was officer 5,000. They left the truth. I said, well, shit, I guess somebody need to go up there, and went ahead and did it. Everybody understands that?
I don't want to.
Martin Luther King taught us that we should fall and be weak and give in to the stronger power. He was just a test for us. The Lord gave us another test. Read that scripture one more time.
Okay. Judges chapter 3, verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them.
Keep going.
Even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan.
Meaning what? These Israelites that didn't know all of the fighting we had to go through to get this land. So they left certain nations there to try us. And they're the same nations you know now. The Edomites, the Ishmaelites. Edomites are the white man. The Ishmaelites are the so-called people from India. The Africans. He left them round about us so they could seduce us some more. So they could turn us some more. And so the Most High could see who has it and who doesn't. Martin Luther King was a test. A cause.
Is that the same thing as the Lord and Adam in the midst with the tree of knowledge of good and evil and the tree of...
It's the Bible out. It's everywhere. It's don't eat from this tree, eat from this tree. And the tree is sitting right there every day. Talking to you. Tempting you. It's the Bible. It's the entire book. The book of the Bible is stories of men being tested and the chronicling of the men that passed the test and the admonishment of the men that failed the test. It's everywhere in the Bible. It's any story you've ever heard about in the Bible at all. It's Samson, it's David, it's every story. It's a test. Life is a test. Now you can run from it or you can embrace it and go in it. It's up to you. All right? Keep reading.
Okay. Slaki, Lisa?
No, Slaki, the young man in the back. Go ahead.
Concept. Verse 4, ye shall walk after the Most High your power and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him.
Excellent. Keep going.
And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams.
Or that what?
Prophet or that dreamer of dreams.
Or that what?
Prophet or that dreamer of dreams.
Go ahead.
Shall be put to death.
Shall what?
Be put to death.
Shall what?
Be put to death.
Shall what?
Be put to death.
Who killed Martin Luther King? That was God's judgment. That he died. That prophet or that dreamer of dreams who led you to worship other gods, who was really to prove you, to see whether you love the Lord God and would keep his commandments, that prophet is going to get killed. That prophet who's being used to be a test, he's going to die. He's going to die. The question is, will you follow him or will you follow the Most High's commandments? But he is dead. He's getting killed. Does this sound strange to you? How many of you grew up in the black community in the ghettos? Raise your hand. Who was around your ghetto getting all the money and all the fame and all the love from everybody? Young man.
The drug dealers.
The drug dealers. The most wicked of our people getting all the fame, all the girls, all the money, all the love. Then what happens?
Get pulled up, get killed, get shot.
Then they die. Because that drug dealer with that car is testing you to see if you will go out and sell drugs so you can be loved, so you can get all the girls, so you can get the car and the coats and the sneakers and the this. It's a test. And the people who follow that drug dealer, what happens to them?
Get killed.
I mean, this teaches itself, brother. Now, why do I got to do it all day? This is life. You look at rich men that everybody loves who are doing something evil, and those rich men get shot. And if you follow them, you get killed too. And other people see him with that car and see him getting all the girls, and they go, I ain't gonna sell drugs to my people. I can't do that. That's wrong. And that man lives. And some sisters go, look at all the money he has. They get in that car with that drug dealer. And what happens to that sister?
She gets killed.
She get killed right next to her. And other sisters go, I'm not getting in that car. I'm not being with him. And that sister, this teaches itself. This is life. This is growing up here. Martin Luther King died like any sinner dies for his wickedness. Do you understand? That's all. You don't got to make a movie about it. It's just for his wickedness. Like every drug dealer, every pimp, every liar, every hustler. It happens all the time. They just didn't go down to D.C. with it. That's all. It happens all the time. Everybody gets it. All right. Question.
I have a question about offenses and Matthew chapter 18.
This all I'm talking about?
No.
Good. Testing. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 18, verse.
Somebody read it for us. Matthew 18 and 6.
6 through 10.
Matthew 18, 6 through 10. Knock, you got it.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 6. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea.
What's your question about it, sis?
I wanted to break down. Is it talking about little children, or is it talking about us that's in the truth?
It's talking about us that's in the truth. Right? It's using little children as a metaphor because he considers us his little children because he loves us the same way you would love a child. All right, read the scripture, please.
Well, the same thing over again, sir?
Yes.
Okay. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones.
Skip above it, please. 2 verses.
Verse 4, 18 and 4. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as a little child.
Skip above it, 2 more.
Okay. And Yahweh shall call a little child unto him.
So now this is Yahweh Shai Christ. He's out teaching, right? a lot of people around. He sees children there. He calls the child to come down to him so he can see the child. Go ahead.
And set him in the midst of them.
So he takes the child and puts the child in the midst of all the people that he's teaching. Keep going.
And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
So imagine Christ in the middle of everybody. He takes a child. Come on down, little brother. Little sister, he sits him down in his lap. He says, you see this child? Except you be converted and become as a little child, you cannot make it in the kingdom of heaven. So he's using the child as an example of how we all should be. To get in the kingdom, you are going to be as, you're going to have to be as this little child. And what does that mean?
Coming in, changing your way of thinking, become born again.
You on it. You on it. You're almost there. Amen.
Meaning a child is innocent, will keep all the law, statutes, and commandments.
No. And children are not innocent. They bad as hell. That's myth. They innocent. Go ask the juvenile court. Go ahead.
Coming in under the as a person underneath the prophets, to learn.
He's on it. Give him a hand. That's it. This is what a child is. A child is open to learn. That's what a child is. A child learns his name from you. A child learns how to dress, tie his shoes. You are teaching a child everything. A child doesn't, you don't say, I'm naming you Ariel. And the child go, wait a minute, I'd rather be called James. A child doesn't do that. You understand? The child's name is whatever you say it is. You don't go to teach your child to tie his shoes and he goes, excuse me, Mom, I'm gonna wear sandals. I'm not gonna, don't teach me how to tie my shoes. A child is willing to learn whatever you teach him. You can't get the kingdom without being like that, because you can't be born again without becoming a child again. You understand? All of us learned our name back when we were little babies. We learned how to dress back when we were little babies. We learned what to eat back when we were little babies. Now here you are in 2016 and you are required to learn it all again. Now you got to learn what to eat again. Learn how to dress again. Learn your name again. Learn everything again. You get my point? I remember one beautiful, I was an officer of 5,000. And we went, and me and the brothers, we went to some bowling party. We used to have a ton of parties back then everywhere. We went to a bowling party and we walked in. And of course, because of how we dress and how we look, whenever we would go somewhere, people inevitably would say, where are you from? Because they would look at us and we would be like aliens. And so I went with one of the other brothers. And they asked the brother, well, where are y'all brothers from? Now I began to tell him I was from Philly. And the brother stopped and he said, we from 1 West 125th Street. And I remember he said that and I said, right. You get my point? My old man is from some city, some town, somewhere. This man is from 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. This is where I was born. You understand? I was born there. That's where I was created. The me you see was born there. Everybody gets me? You gotta be a child to accept that. If you, like in your case, you're a woman. Your mother brought you up a certain way. Your father, you grew up going to church. You grew up thinking this and thinking that. You don't get the kingdom unless you start over like a baby, like a brand new girl. Now you're told you're going to dress like this. You're going to wear this. You're going to eat this. You're going to go here. Don't hang around that person. I don't want to see you around him anymore. You hang around these people. You learn this. You do that. Most people can't do that. Why? Because they were already born. They've learned too much. They're what? Finish my thought. They're old bottles. And you can't put new wine in old bottles. You understand? It's just too late for them. But you're a baby. Go ahead.
So I got a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it that, like that the Lord, that everybody is not destined for salvation, right?
That's correct. Destined is not the right way to put it. The people who don't get saved don't want to be saved. You understand? They don't want to be children. They like how their mama brought them up in that Jehovah's Witness church. They like it. Keep liking it then. You're going to die. They like Martin Luther King. They love his speech. They feel tingles and tears whenever they see him. And they're going to die. You get my point. Go ahead.
So I guess, sir, if I can.
Please.
I was adopted.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady that adopted me, she used to sit in her room all day long, every day, and read the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every day, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And she passed away about 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I wonder, like, what if it's just that she didn't really understand the Bible?
Mm-hmm.
Because before I came into the truth, I used to watch the videos,
Mm-hmm.
stand outside the camps.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember times when I went back to her, and she, what little I had that I learned from watching the videos,
Mm-hmm.
and she just
Didn't agree.
She just wouldn't get it.
Mm-hmm. So what's your question?
My question is, is it that the Lord just didn't want her to understand it, or the Lord just wants certain people that He's looking for?
I'll explain. I'll explain. And it goes right on to the sister's question. Okay. She, when you went to try to tell her about the truth, right? She didn't accept it. You were brought up with her since you were young, correct? She taught you before you came into the truth, correct? Then why did you accept the truth?
It makes sense to me.
Even though you learned what she learned because she taught it to you. So why did it make sense to you and not to her?
I like to say, that, maybe I just wasn't, I'll say I wasn't learning. I didn't have enough knowledge at the time. Maybe that's
The things that you told her, were they true? Based on what you know now, were they true?
Yes.
Okay. So then why did she reject it and you accept it? What's the obvious answer? What's the obvious answer? What did she say?
God, it is what it is. So
Sometimes it is what it is, right? She didn't like it. She didn't agree with it.
Right.
She rejected it, which is what she said, right? You did accept it. That's just a fact. Let's not be religious about it. Here's Pepsi, here's Coke. I don't like Pepsi. I like Coke. Did the Spirit not let you receive the Coke? Was the demons in the Pepsi? I don't like Pepsi. I like Coke. You understand? She didn't like the truth. She liked the lie. That's just true. You get my point. Now, to go to the sister's question, here's how you get the kingdom of heaven. Here's how you wear a crown on your head. Here's how you rule over nations. That woman didn't raise me at all. You understand? That woman did not raise me. That's not the woman that raised me. I was raised by Commanding General Yahanna.
That's right.
I was born on 125th Street, 1 West. That's who I am. That boy she taught is gone. That boy she fed those lies to is not here anymore. He's gone. If the boy is not gone, then you'll struggle you'll be what the Bible is called double-minded. Because the boy she raised is still here, and the new man is trying to grow. So then because of that, you go back and forth. But one day you finally say, my family is them that keep the commandments of God.
That's right.
That happens to every brother and sister one day. And if you don't come to that, it's a struggle. You know what I'm talking about, sis? If you like, well, my mom said this, and my father said this, but the Bible and the UPK says this. If you don't say, that's not my family. This is my family. This is where I was raised. This is where I was born. The minute you can come to that, it's so freeing up. It's so freeing, and it's true. It's absolutely true. Everybody gets it? And that's up to every brother and sister to decide if they want to make that choice. Me, myself, I have made it. Everyone understands that? And according to the scripture the sister pulled, you can't get the kingdom of heaven without becoming brand new again, without becoming a baby. A baby says, I don't care what these other people told me my name was. What other people? I'm a child. What's my name? What do I eat? What do I drink? Where do I live? I'm a brand new baby. You get my point? Some people hold your point. Some people get to that, some people will not. If you want to get to that, that's how you got to do it. Everyone gets it. Come on.
I don't want to
So I know the day I was reborn. So my birthplace is 41 Garrett Road.
Give him a hand. Let me help you. To be exact, your birthplace is 1 West 125th Street. 41 Garrett Road is 1 West 125th Street. That's who we are. We took what was in Jerusalem and spread it all around the globe. You get my point? What's here is what is born in 1 West 125th Street. But I get your point. You understand? Go ahead.
So could you also say, like what your brother brought out is that his so-called, you know what I'm saying, over the world, what we do, she didn't pass the test, he did.
Yeah. That's it, man. Christ came to do what? Set enmity against a man's household. To divide a house. Please, Danielle.
Time check E23, sir.
Quickly. Give me that scripture real fast. You understand, sister? Let me finish up here with the child thing. And then give me, I came to set a man against his own household, Matthew 10. All right? Finish up here with the sister's question. Any other questions off the topic? Go ahead, brother. No problem. Let's go. I'm finishing up with the sister's question. Where was it at? Where was your question at, sis?
Matthew 18, verse 6 through 10.
Keep going.
Now we have verse 4, sir.
Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as a little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
You get that? It's about being humble. It's about being willing to be told your name, how to dress, how to behave, how to act. It takes a level of humility for that, to be born again. Keep going.
And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me.
And whoso shall receive one such little child shall receiveth me. What does that mean? Quickly, do you know, sis?
If you're born again, then you are a child of the Most High. So by you being a child of the Most High, if people accept you, then they accept Yahanna.
Give her a hand. That's exactly what it is. With me. You understand? So now, because of that, you represent Christ. So now the people that help you, that assist you, that house you, they do it for Christ. Because you represent him. Because you have humbled yourself unto him to become what he wants you to be. To believe what he wants you to believe. So now you are him here. You represent him, and whoever helps you, assists you, they help him, and they will receive a reward for doing it. Keep going.
Verse 6, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he was drowned in the depth of the sea.
That's the other side of it, sis. The people that help you help Christ. What's the other side, however? The people that hurt you hurt Christ. And it would be better if a millstone were hung about their neck. Who knows what a millstone is? Old thing. A millstone is imagine a stone as big as this old podium. A giant stone put on top of another giant stone. And it's a stick in the middle tied to a donkey. And a donkey just walks around the millstone because he's turning one stone on top of another to grind wheat into flour. You would tie it to 2 or 3 donkeys. Samson pushed one himself. Samson was tied to one when he was a slave under the Philistines, the Africans, and he pushed a millstone. Usually a donkey does it. 2 giant stones, donkey tied to the top stone, and he grinds that flat wheat into flour. Well, if you harm someone who represents Christ, it's better if you tie one of those stones to your neck and get thrown in the water. That's better. You get my point? Because the Lord will defend you because you represent him. You aren't yourself anymore. Harming you is not harming Cynthia or harming Jerome. Jerome wasn't worth garbage anyway. Somebody could come and kill Jerome, throw him in jail. Who cares? Jerome is a statistic. That's what Jerome is. He's nothing. Cynthia, Tamika is a statistic. They're nothing. But Sawanah is a daughter of Zion.
That's right.
Watch yourself around her.
Damn right.
Watch what you do to her. Watch what you say to her. Everyone gets that. And I don't gotta tell you about the UPK. You know how we are. We have, you get the point. Everybody should be careful about everybody in here. Everybody should be safe. Nobody should touch any of you. You come and go in the streets, people should leave you alone. They shouldn't do anything. We all just men. You get my point? We all make mistakes out around. You get my point? God forbid we should make some mistakes. So everybody, so that nobody makes mistakes, you come and go as you please and everybody leaves you alone. Everyone understands that. That's what that scripture is talking about, all right? You should not be harmed. No one should harm you. The repercussions are more severe than they can handle. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 7. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come. But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh.
Woe unto the world because of offenses, meaning what? The world is going to persecute the people that represent Christ. And these offenses must come. But woe unto them that bring them. You understand? Even though we are supposed to suffer affliction for serving Christ, and we're going to suffer it, but the world is going to pay for it.
That's right.
You understand? They're going to pay for what they do to us. They're going to pay for any bit of trouble they have caused us because we have decided to keep the commandments of God and serve our King. We'll take what we have coming to us because we serve Christ. So we know it's coming. But they are going to pay for giving it to us. You understand? Where we at?
Verse 8, sir. Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee.
Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off. Now, whoever can give me this answer, I'm going to be impressed. Because your hand or your foot is...
So like, can you repeat the question?
Therefore, if your hand or your foot offend thee, cut them off. Because, now this is my part, I'm asking a question now. Because your hand or your foot is what?
It's keeping you back from
I need it in the Bible. I need it what we just read.
Y'all, temple
It's like a what?
offending you.
But it already said that part. That's not the part. That's not the killer.
Is your hand and the foot will be your family?
Your hand and your foot are in the world.
God.
How do you know your hand and your foot are in the world? It's like a what?
Offending you.
Read it one more time, please.
One more time.
Therefore,
wherefore if thy foot or thy
above that.
okay, woe unto the world.
Woe unto what?
The world.
Woe unto what?
Woe unto the world.
Woe unto the world. Keep going.
Because of offenses.
Because of offenses. The world the people in the world bring offenses on people in the truth. I don't have to teach y'all that. Everybody here knows that. People in the world offend people in the truth. They say you're in a cult and they hurt you and they ridicule you because you're in the truth. Woe unto the world because of offenses, meaning destruction on the world because they offend people of Christ. Keep going.
For it must needs be that offenses come.
People in the truth will suffer offenses because they were offended by Christ. So they will be offended by us. They hated Christ, so they will hate us. So we will suffer offenses. Go ahead.
But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh.
But woe to that what?
Man.
That what?
That man.
Woe to that man, because that man is in the world. Woe to that man by whom the offenses cometh. Woe to the world because of offenses. Woe to that man by whom the offenses come. Are you with me? That man is in the world, and he is offending the people of Christ. He's ridiculing them and shaming them and trying to get them to leave the school and hurt.
When nowadays I work hard on the job, I come cross shop, still like I'm a criminal. Trying to get caught, it could be your first charge. Like, man, you ain't getting a minimum. You gon' dip, squat, 5-mile run, pull, sit on, goddamn, that's wrong. Looking at my baby, trying to keep them doing wrong. It's too long before they grow, I can't leave them on their own. They killed Daddy like he had a 30-day case. The news covering up the story for what they say. It took me back to the time we lost Otis. Pretending these crackers, they gon' tell you something bogus. And I'm thinking like, damn, what you tell the kids? We try to put up a fight, but did we fail the kids? Cause they really got us looking like no damn good. And why success got to cost my manhood? Hey, black women, y'all got to wake the fuck up. Cause some of y'all heavy crackers keep us fucked up. You want your respect, boo, that's what's up.
Backstage.
Yeah, nigga. Fake ass nigga.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
What you talking about?
If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy, you be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bought it. UPK, shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm about it. UPK, shoot solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All the hoes wanna take my piece. All the niggas wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe, study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walk around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Should've took the time, get a damn no. But I see the shawty and I show her. She could never get a piece whole. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jewelry. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. And a sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit mugger. I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy, you be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bought it. UPK, shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't none of me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, that clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. And you're scoring them off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UPK play for keys, nigga. Commanding to get a damn order, but ain't nothing to me to damn kill you. I stuck in his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close comeback. Nigga got popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't want, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga named is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. South Coast shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Walk back every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said, 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy? Stressed by that damn